Hello Epic 7 newbies, this is Suspect Amy, and I'm back with a new video going over how I determine what gear I should keep for upgrading in the future. As usual, this is just what a super lazy girl like me does, to try to get the best gear while playing casually. There are lots of guides online that help you min-max this process, but that's not for me at all. However, if you have any tips for me, please leave a comment. I consider myself a very mid-level Epic 7 player, so I would love any suggestions. As you can see, we're just finishing a weekend buff event where we get some bonuses on both Rift and Hunt gear drops. If you're new to Epic 7, you basically want to do the bare minimum to complete your daily quests, and save most of your stamina mail and leafs until this buff event comes along. Once it's here, you blow all your extra stamina on just spamming these runs over and over again. Whether you do Rift or Hunt to get gear, that's really up to you. I know I can't compare to all of the great E7 content creators out there, but I just haven't seen many videos for new players about picking what equipment to upgrade since gear score was added in-game. Anyways, I just finished running Rift all weekend and went through around 7,000 stamina. Here's the gear I received from 2 whole days of farming. When it comes to what I want to keep, it really only comes down to gear score. Almost nothing else matters to me. You can show gear score in the options here and sort to make it easier. Then I scroll down to see my new pieces with the highest gear score. Anything unlocked is essentially new here. Here's an amazing 34 gear score piece, so I lock it. I automatically do the same for anything that's gear score 30 and higher. Gear score is king for me. I used to examine every set and substat and main stat and make sure things align, but I don't really do that anymore. The main reason I stopped caring about gear stats is because E7 continues to release heroes that have weird gear requirements like MLU Fiend, who wants a lifesteal set with a lot of defense, or Green Lilias, who wants a torrent set with 0 crit chance, or even older units like ML Sermia, who works well on crit set with high defense. For gear score 29, I'll consider keeping it only if the substats are percentage-based or speed. Necklaces and rings are probably my worst pieces of gear, so I'm a bit more lenient on throwing those away. I'll usually check those separately to see if there's a decent main stat, then I might keep anything at gear score 28 and higher. Another reason I feel gear score is so important is because it prevents you from wasting those precious upgrade resources. If you start with a high gear score piece and you get a couple of bad rolls, you'll still end up with a usable piece. But if you start with a poor gear score piece and get 1 or 2 bad rolls, that thing needs to be trashed and you just wasted resources upgrading it. Sure, you can get super lucky with your rolls and turn a mid piece into a great piece, but the odds are really stacked against you, and more likely than not, you're just throwing your upgrade resources in the garbage. Okay, I'm all done locking my gear. Now I take all of my remaining boots and extract them. These are the only things I extract, everything else I sell. Gear upgrade resources are super scarce. I never have enough to upgrade the gear I have on hand. I only upgrade my gear like once a month, basically, because it takes that long for me to save up charms and stuff. Selling equipment gets you some upgrade resources, which you desperately need. You might be asking, if upgrade resources are so rare, why am I extracting boots instead of selling them? For 2 main reasons. One is because boots with a speed main stat are probably the most important gear in the game. The odds of you getting these through farming is super rare, so you need to take matters into your own hands and craft these yourself. Extracting boots give you these crafting materials. The second reason is because, luckily, boots can be upgraded with the same general charms that non-accessory gear use. So as long as you upgrade boots first, this kind of allows you to steal upgrade materials from other equipment slots. Now, back to my inventory here. Before I sell off everything, I always do some speed checks first. I go through my trash purple and red pieces and find the ones with a speed substat of at least 3. Speed is the most powerful stat in the game, so you just want to try your best to get some lucky rolls. Try a roll, see if it lands on speed. If it doesn't, drop it. If it does, try another roll. Conserving upgrade materials is key here. Please do not waste them by chasing some other stat on trash gear. If any roll doesn't roll speed, drop it immediately. If I am super lucky and I get 3 consecutive speed rolls, then I lock the piece and save it for my future upgrading session. When I'm really desperate, I'll try rolling on red gear with 2 speed, but that's as far as I'll go. And there you have it. Sell everything that isn't locked and throw your new gear in storage until you're ready for an upgrading session. I'll probably do a future video on how a lazy girl like me upgrades my gear, but I need to wait until I gather enough charms. Here's a really good indicator of how depressing gearing is in Epic 7. I burned around 7,000 stamina over 2 days during a buffed event, and the total number of pieces that I got that I consider worth even trying to upgrade is 29. That's it. That's about 1 potential piece of gear every 250 stamina. Not to mention that probably a quarter of these get tossed because they roll poorly. Is 2 days spent repeatedly pushing a button worth 20 pieces of gear? You tell me. Anyways, I'm hoping this helps a new Epic 7 player even just a little bit. For the rest of you, do you guys use a similar strategy when determining what you should upgrade? Are you guys having the same charm bottleneck that I am? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching my video. Bye everyone.